But we have discovered, these 3 points, these 3 bases, in a sense, if you run the bases in this path, that if someone is spiritually healthy, vision driven, and finally fully funded, really in that order, that they will have a much better chance of becoming lifers as it relates to staying in the saddle, and being college workers their whole life. I just have such respect for those that are continuing to work with students in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, how about their 40s?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about the 50s?
Mm-hmm.
Can you keep doing it into the 60s? I mean, I think I'm in my 80s now, Paul. I'm still after it, bro. No. You also have done some research, and what did you discover in your research about the importance of funding as it ties into all this, Delvin?
Great
Touch
question.
on that for a moment.
Yeah. No, I found that there wasn't just one way that people accomplished the funding. By that I meant there were several different ways that these new campus ministries funded. What I found that, for most churches, ministries, there's not a budgetary line item for, oh, our new church will start, or our new ministry will start. It's usually just, let's create more money for what we already have. And so I found that these new campus ministries were birthed in creative ways. Some of them were fully funded as far as they had their own personal ministry support team, and then they added on to that, or they told their partnership team, hey, I'm doing this new work, will you give to it? And that was a way. Some of them got some seed money, maybe from other local churches, or even where they landed, sending churches that, before they landed. Some of them, they were just really creative. There were some that they literally got the students involved and the team members involved that went with them. And so they had fundraisers throughout the year or different things like that. And so the funding I found for a new ministry was a lot of what kind of, is currently there. I kind of, in the dissertation, I wrote a little bit about it. There's a traditional kind of model where maybe a local church pays for, all the ministry costs and the staff and their personal, incomes. And then there's a more, I'll say, parachurch maybe model, where it's or missionary model, where it's, I'm going to this mission field and yet someone's supporting me so that I can go there. And it was a neat combination of many bleeding of both of those worlds. And so funding was a huge important. There was one person I remember in particular, one of my participants in the study, that they were like, you know what, I really wish, that I had been fully funded, before I came. And there was
That
others
was
that
me.
they had to look. Hey,
Oops.
you're not the only one. But
Mhm.
there was others that they were like, you know what, I underestimated, the cost, and I really, I'm moving to a new city, a new locale. I mean, and that's another of the wrinkles is, what does it actually even cost to live? Maybe it's a bigger city, maybe it's a different, cost. And so anyway, those were all challenges. They all got over those obstacles different ways, though.
Yeah, honestly, I remember because I was one of the guys you interviewed, and I remember saying that because that's part of my story is that I started out just someone handed us a really good book on the topic. It wasn't Shad's book, but just said, "Hey, here's the book. Good luck. Go raise it. Go do it."
Wow.
And that was the extent of my support raising training. And so we hit the ground running the first year just with shoestring budget, just we were struggling. And so I wish I could go back, get some good training, get a coach, kind of get to a much healthier place. We would have been, so that's something that even a few years in, I wasn't fully funded. And I was having a conversation with Shad and he was like, "What is going on, man? I'm going to call you. I'm gonna, he grilled me. He actually helped coach me to get to a much healthier place with that. And so now I've been able to help encourage and coach others. And so I think we can't underestimate the importance of people getting the right perspective and the right practices when it comes to finances in collegiate ministry. And so I think there's a whole world of opportunity that can open up to us if we embrace these biblical principles.